Okay, welcome back. We're going to do things a little differently. We're going to go from the latest game to the earliest game, just to, switch it up a little bit. So the very late game happened in Seattle. I know this isn't deja vu as they literally just played 2 nights ago, so I had to double check the schedule myself. I was completely mind blown that they played back-to-back games in the same city. So I know it's very common to have a home and home, or one team would be home, the next game they're away. But no, on the schedule, they legit had the Ducks and the Kraken playing Tuesday and Thursday night. Very confusing for myself. And anyway, let's just dive into it.
There's no scoring in the first period, so.
In the second. I'm guessing they're scoring in the second. So Shorts would kick things off for the Kraken, getting his 13th goal of the year, assisted by Eberle and McCann. A power play goal at 9 minutes and 3 seconds into that frame. Can you say that name?
Isaac Lundstrom.
Exactly. We get his 5th goal of the year from Silverberg and Vakanainen. 2 minutes and 8 seconds into that frame, tying the game up at 1. How about this one?
Jacob Silverberg.
Would increase the lead, or give the increased lead. Would give the Ducks their first lead of the night. 7th of the season, 2 minutes and 52 seconds into that frame. Again, a shorthanded goal. So the Kraken gave up 2 shorthanded goals on the same power play. Andre Burakovsky would tie the game up on a power play, a different one, 6 minutes and 25 seconds into that frame. For Burakovsky, that would be his 5th goal of the year from Schultz and McCann. Who's this guy?
Ty Carty.
Would get his
9th goal.
Excuse me. Assisted by
Gordy and all.
Alexiak with 6 minutes and 57 seconds to go in the frame. And then
Matty
Beniers, I think, would get his
12th goal
from
McCann and
Burakovsky. Power play goal with 4 minutes and 25 seconds to go on the clock.
Sorry, my English is not good today.
It is good. It is fine. So 4-2 would be where we'd stand at the end of regulation. And my phone turned off, so I gotta check and see where they're at, or where these teams are sitting at in the standings.
Some of them might not be that early because I know that Vancouver and Dallas didn't play.
Yeah, something like that. Anyway, so with that, the Kraken are sitting at 30, 29, and 13. That's 72 games played, so they only have 10 more games left. So, and then with the loss, the Ducks are 24, 45, and 4 for 52 points. They have 9 games remaining on their schedule. Okay.
Next one is Nashville and Arizona.
Nashville and Arizona. Who's home?
Nashville is on the left and Arizona's on the right.
Nashville's on the left and Arizona's on the right. Okay. Let's take a look and see how this one went.
This is a crazy score.
Is it?
Look.
Wow.
A lot of talking.
Yeah. So, in the first... My phone just shut off again. That's fine. In the first, Jason Zucker would kick things off for the Nashville Predators, getting his 12th goal of the year from Glass and Sissons, 2 minutes and 22 seconds into that frame. He would get his 2nd goal of the game, his 13th of the year from Glass and Yossi, 5 minutes, 11 seconds into that same period.
Hey, he had the same drive. He assisted twice.
Yeah, that's cool, eh?
It's Glass.
Yeah, Glass assisted twice, 2 points. Who's that?
Jack McBain
would score 8 minutes into that frame, getting his
8th goal
from
Doan.
Yeah, and then
Logan Cooley
would score his
14th goal
from
Cruz.
And that goal happened with 3 minutes remaining on the clock, tying the game up at 2.
Clayton Keller.
In the second period, I was just about to say, Clayton Keller would get his
31st goal
from
Kerfoot and
Genther. 7 minutes, 11 seconds into that frame.
Again.
Yep.
Logan Cooley
would score his
15th goal
from
Keller.
Not assisted by 8 minutes, 11 seconds into that frame.
Assisted by power play.
Exactly. 8 minutes, 11 seconds into that frame. Gustav Nyquist would cut the deficit to 4-3, getting his 21st goal of the year from Forsberg and Yossi, with 8 minutes and 52 seconds to go on the clock. Nick Bustad would increase the lead to 5-3, getting his 20th goal of the year from Keller and Schmaltz with 7 minutes and 24 seconds to go. Nick Schmaltz would increase the lead to 6-3, making For Schmaltz, that'd be his 21st goal of the year from Keller and Dursey. After 40 minutes of play, the Coyotes had a 6-3 lead. In the third period,
That ties
Michelli, I think,
Michelli.
would get his
13th goal.
from,
Done.
and that goal happened about 6 minutes to go on the clock. Who's this?
Philip Forsberg.
Would get his
41st goal.
from
Josie and Barry.
And that'll be a power play goal with 3 minutes and 20 seconds to go on the clock.
Logan Cooley.
Would score with 1.5 minutes remaining, and for Cooley, that would be his
16th goal.
from
Brown.
8-4 would be the final score. Wild. That is crazy. It's a big score.
Just wait a moment. Technical difficulties.
Yep. So for the Coyotes, after this one, they're 31, 37, and 5, despite the win. They only have 9 games remaining on their schedule, and they're currently 20 points back of a wild card spot. So they have now been officially eliminated from the 2024 postseason. And as for the Nashville Predators, they're sitting at 43, 26, and 4 for 90 points. They are currently sitting first in the wild card position, and they're only 4 points back of the Jets for third spot in the Central. So anything can happen at this point in the season. Alrighty, what's the next matchup?
New York Rangers and Colorado.
Who's home?
Colorado is on the right and New York is on the left. Yes, I'm trying to measure your head.
Okay. Let's see what happened.
There was no scoring in the first.
Okay.
There you go.
Thanks. Casey Middlestat would kick things off for the Colorado Avalanche late in that first period, just 33 seconds to go on the clock. For Middlestat, that'd be 17th of the year from Duhane and Manson. In the third period,
Cackle
would get his
11th goal
of the season. 3 minutes into that third period, tying the game up at 1. Who's next?
Chris Kreider
Would get his
34th goal
from
Trocheck and Panarin.
a power play goal in 9 minutes and 35 seconds into that frame. And then
Devin Toews.
Taze. Yeah, I know. Would tie the game up, getting his
12th goal.
With 7 minutes and 13 seconds to go on the clock. We would need extra time to settle this one. In overtime, nothing was settled. In the shootout,
Artemi
Panarin, the bread man, would make it 3-2 in favor of the New York Rangers.
Why do you call him the bread man?
Just his nickname. Anytime you ever see him at a home game, there's always people that have like pretend loaves of bread because they call him the Panini, the bread man. So anyways, with that, the Rangers are sitting at 49, 20, and 4. They have now officially clinched a playoff spot in the Eastern Conference. And as for the Avalanche, despite the loss, where are we? They're currently sitting 46, 21, and 6 for 98 points, and they are sitting second in the Central Division. All right, what's
Vegas
next?
and Winnipeg.
Vegas and Winnipeg. Who's home?
Vegas is on the left and Winnipeg on the right.
Are they? Okie doke. All
Your
right.
head is big.
Yeah, thanks.
Your forehead's big as well.
Good. Alrighty. Let's see. So in the first period, Dorofiev would kick things off for the Vegas Golden Knights with 3 minutes and 4 seconds to go on the clock. For Dorofiev, that'd be his 12th of the year, assisted by William Karlsson. In the second period, Sean Monahan would tie the game up, getting his 23rd of the year from Ehlers and DeMello, 3 minutes and 31 seconds into the frame. Heading into the third period, we're all tied up at 1.
Ivan Barbashev
Would break the tie in the third period, getting his
17th goal
from
Mantha and
and Whitecloud. 5.5 minutes to go on the clock. He would strike again, getting his
18th goal
of the season with just 1 minute and 45 seconds to go on the clock. And then
Jack Eichel.
would get his
25th goal
of the season from
Carlson.
And that goal happened with 34 seconds to go on the clock. So 4-1 would be the final score in favor of the Vegas Golden Knights. They are now sitting at 40, 25, and 8, 88 points on the season. And they have now jumped into third place in the Pacific Division. They're only 4 points behind the Edmonton Oilers. So again, watch out this late in the season. Teams can jump up and down in the standings, so anything can happen. The Vegas Golden Knights. Alrighty, who's next?
Calgary Flames and St. Louis. Calgary's on the left and St. Louis is on the right.
Okay.
There you go.
Thanks. So in the first,
Zach Bolduc.
would get his
second goal
of the season from Torpachenko and Bennington. And that goal happened with just under 7 minutes to go on the clock.
Andrei Kuzmenko
would tie the game up, getting his
14th goal
of the season. That's 5 minutes and 12 seconds remaining on the clock. The Flames would get a late power play goal, and
Jonathan Huberdeau
who would get his
11th goal
from
Uyghur and Anderson.
And that goal happened with 1 minute and 23 seconds to go on the clock. So at that point, the Flames had a 2-1 lead. In the second period,
Jake Neighbors
would tie the game up, getting his
26th goal
from
Thomas and Parayko.
Parayko. There you go. 3 minutes and 27 seconds on the clock. Pavel Buchnevich would tie the game, or would give the Blues a 3-2 lead, giving his 25th goal of the year from Krug and Jake Neighbors. A power play goal with 9 minutes on the clock.
Andrei Kuzmenko
would tie the game up, getting his
15th goal
from
Kadri and Uyghur.
And that goal happened with 3 minutes and 10 seconds to go on the clock. So after 40 minutes of play, it was all tied up at 3. In the third period,
Brandon Saad
would get his
24th goal
from
Cairo and
Shen. 2 minutes and 4 seconds in the third. And then Pavel Buchnevich would get his second goal of the game, his 26th of the year from Krug and Bennington. And 5-3 is where we stand at the end of regulation. So with the victory...
1 second, take the technical difficulties.
You're fine. With the victory, the Blues are sitting at 39-30-4 for 82 points. Only 9 games remaining, and they're 5 points behind the second wildcard team in the Western Conference. And with the loss, the Flames are 33-34-5. At this point, they're 16 points out of the playoff spot with 10 games to go. So they're not technically eliminated, but it would take a miracle for them to make a run at the playoffs this year. Who's next?
San Jose, Minnesota.
San Jose left?
San Jose left.
Okay. How did this one go? Let everybody know.
I don't know.
You don't know how this went? Oh, you don't know?
Joel Eriksson Ek
would score in the first period, getting his
30th goal
of the season from
Kaprizov and Boldy.
Exactly. In the second period,
Michael Granlund
would get his
11th goal
from
Retta and Vlasic.
Yeah, and 9 minutes and 26 seconds of that second period.
Matt Boldy
would strike in the third period, just 18 seconds in, getting his
25th goal
from
Kaprizov.
And then
Ryan Hartman.
And Hartman, exactly, would get his
19th goal
from
Gustafsson.
And that goal happened with 54 seconds to go on the clock. So, with the victory, the Wild are sitting at 35-28-9 for 79 points. They have 10 games remaining, and they are 8 points behind the second wildcard team in the Western Conference. And as for the San Jose Sharks, after the loss 16-48-8, they only have 40 points on this season with 10 games remaining on the schedule. All right, who's next?
Next game is Detroit and Carolina. Detroit's on left and Carolina's on right.
Detroit and Carolina. Okay.
There was no scoring in the first.
Okay, we have to talk about the second period then?
Yep.
Okay, Sebastian Aho would kick things off for the Hurricanes, getting his 32nd goal of the year from Gensel and Seth Jarvis. 4 and 42 seconds of that frame.
Seth Jarvis
would score, getting his
28th goal
from
Aho
and Gensel.
5
minutes and 39 seconds in that same period. Necas would increase lead to 3-0, getting his 23rd of the year from Kuznetsov and Martinuk, and that goal happened with 9 minutes and 14 seconds to go on the clock. And then
Brady
Shea would get his
13th goal
from
Aho and Jarvis.
And that goal happened with 3 minutes and 27 seconds to go on the clock. So 4-0 was the final score in favor of the Hurricanes. So now take a look at the standings.
1-8 headed later.
Pretty much. So with the victory, the Hurricanes are 46, 21, and 7. They have now officially clinched a playoff spot. They are still sitting second in that Metropolitan Division with 8 games remaining on the schedule. And with the loss, the Red Wings are now 36, 30, and 7 for 79 points. They are currently 2 points behind the second wildcard team in the Eastern Conference to make a run at the postseason, and they have 9 games remaining on their schedule. Next.
Washington and Toronto.
Washington and Toronto. Okay, let's see if I can load these teams on the screen. Keep my phone intact so that it's not dying.
In the first period.
In the first period,
I'll flip it.
Mark Giordano would get his second goal of the season, assisted by Nyes, and that goal happened with 9 minutes and 51 seconds to go on the clock. In the second period, Tyler Bertuzzi would increase the lead to 2-0, getting his 17th of the year from Brody and Matthews. You can do that one.
Nick Dowd would get his 10th goal, assisted by Jensen and Lapierre.
Yeah, and that goal happened 5 minutes and 27 seconds in that same frame.
Connor Dewar would get his 11th goal from Reeves and Camp.
And that goal happened with 9 minutes and 22 seconds to go on the clock. So after 40 minutes of play, it was 3-1 in favor of the Maple Leafs.
In the third period,
Bobby McNair would get his 14th of the year from Tavares and Benoit, 1 minute and 6 seconds in the period. And then
Tyler Bertuzzi would get his 18th goal.
Second goal of the game, and that goal happened with 9 minutes and 49 seconds to go on the clock. All right. So, hold on a second. Let's take a look. So with the victory, the Leafs are 41, 22, and 9 for 91 points. They are currently sitting third in the Atlantic Division. As for the Washington Capitals, despite the loss, they are still sitting in that second wildcard spot. They have a record of 36, 27, and 9 for 81 points, and they have 10 games remaining on their schedule. Who's next?
Chicago and Ottawa.
Chicago and Ottawa.
Yeah, Chicago and Ottawa.
Chicago and Ottawa. All right.
This is easy.
It's easy. Not too complex.
In the first period, Drew would get his 20th goal, assisted by Bernard Docker.
Okay, and that goal happened just 36 seconds into that first period, a shorthanded goal. And then
Parker Kelly would get his 8th goal.
Nice, of the season, and that goal happened 6 minutes and 8 seconds of that same period. There was no scoring in the second or third, so 2-0 would be the final from Ottawa. With the victory, the Senators are 32, 36, and 4 for 68 points of the season. They still have 10 games remaining on their schedule. And as for the Chicago Blackhawks, they are 21, 47, and 5 for 47 points. They have 9 games remaining on their schedule. All right, what's next?
Islanders and Panthers.
Islanders, Panthers. Here we go.
Read this first. Oh.
Okay, I'll read. I'm just loading screen first. Islanders edge Panthers, who clinched playoff berth despite the loss. Okay. So, kind of spoiled it for everyone at the end, but that's fine.
Vladimir Tarasenko. In the first period, Vladimir Tarasenko would get his 21st goal from Barkov and Kulikov?
Yep. That goal happened 8 minutes and 13 seconds in that frame. Ryan Pollock would tie the game up in 5th of the year from Peugeot and Zizekas, and that goal happened with 6 minutes and 40 seconds to go on the clock.
In the second period, Alexander Barkov will get his 19th goal from Reinhardt and McCullough.
Huh?
McCullough?
Sure, yeah, and that whole goal happened 6 minutes and 32 seconds into the frame. Matthew Barzal would tie the game up, I'm guessing, at 2, getting his 23rd goal of the year from Dobson and Zizekas. Peugeot would increase the lead to 3-2. Where are we? Getting his 10th goal of the year from Palesh and Engvall, and that goal happened with 9 minutes and 18 seconds to go on the clock. So despite the fact that the Islanders won, the Panthers actually clinched the playoff spot. So it seems kind of odd to make the playoffs but lose. They're 46, 22, and 5 with 97 points. They're just 2 points behind the Bruins for first place in that division. And after the victory, the Islanders are 31, 26, and 15. They have 77 points on the season. They are currently trailing the Capitals by 4 points for a wild card spot with 10 games to go. Next.
Flyers and Canadiens.
Oh, yay. I could talk about this game all day. Okay, so in the first period, the captain, Nick Suzuki, would kick things off, getting his 30th goal of the year from Slavkovsky and Matheson. A power play goal with 7 minutes and 2 seconds to go on the clock. Ylonen would get his 4th goal of the year, increasing the lead to 2-0. For Ylonen, that would be his 4th goal of the season from Struble and Suzuki. And that goal happened with 3 minutes and 14 seconds to go on the clock. There was no scoring in the second. In the third period, Yoel Armia would increase the lead to 3-0, getting his 13th goal of the season from Matheson and Gouli. And that goal happened with 2 minutes and 55 seconds to go on the clock.
Owen Tippett
Would get his
27th goal
from
Hathaway and
Konechny. And that goal happened with a minute to go on the clock, making it 3-1 at that point. Realistically, the Flyers did score 2 other goals, but they were called back. One was an offside. I think the other one was like interference. And then Jake Evans would increase the lead to 4-1 with just 3 seconds to go. For Evans, that'd be his 6th goal of the season from Matheson and Armia. So despite the loss, the Philadelphia Flyers are sitting at 36, 28, and 10. They have 82 points on the season, and with 8 games remaining on the schedule. And as for the Habs, despite the victory, they are on a 3-game winning streak, but it's extremely late for any type of a winning streak at this point. 28, 32, and 12 is where they stand. They have 68 points on the season with 10 games remaining on their schedule. Alrighty, what's next?
LA and Oilers.
LA and Oilers.
Then we have one more game left.
Okay, LA and the Edmonton Oilers. Alrighty. How did this game go? So in the first, Connor McDavid would open up the scoring. Big surprise there, getting his 27th goal of the year from Ekholm and Bouchard. And that goal happened 5 minutes and 37 seconds in the frame. In the second period,
Adam Henrique
would get his
21st goal
from
Draisaitl and Connor McDavid.
And that goal happened with just 16 seconds remaining on the clock. So it's almost 1-0 after 40 minutes of play. But Henrique would strike with 16 seconds to go, giving the Oilers a 2-0 lead. In the third period,
Evan Bouchard
would get his
16th goal
from
McDavid and Leon Draisaitl.
5 minutes and 5 seconds of that third period, a power play goal. Arthur Kaliev would give the Kings their first goal of the game with 6 minutes and 13 seconds to go. For Kaliev, that'd be his 13th of the year, assisted by Byfield. And the last goal,
Cody Ceci
would get his
3rd goal
from
Draisaitl.
And making it 4-1 with 41 seconds to go on the clock. So the Oilers would go on to win 4-1. With that, they're 44, 23, and 4. They have 92 points with 11 games to go. With that, they're still sitting second in the Pacific Division. And after the loss, the Kings are now out of the top 3 and into a wildcard spot. They have a record of 38, 23, and 11, 87 points with 10 games remaining. One more game?
Yep.
Alrighty, who is playing the last game?
Oh, I guess it's probably the Stars and the Canucks.
Ooh, the Dallas Stars and the Vancouver Canucks. 2 very good teams. 2 teams, I'll have to say, at top of their respective divisions. Alrighty.
I was really sad about this game.
You were sad about this game because of one of the 4 teams you cheer for lost? Oh, my goodness. Alrighty.
Your camera's kind of sideways.
Well, it's fine now. I mean, this is the last game. I'm not looking for perfect quality. Alrighty. So in the first period, Rube Hintz would kick things off for the Stars, getting his 27th goal of the year from Robertson and Ben. A power play goal with 1 minute and 12 seconds remaining on the clock. In the second period, you might as well talk about this.
JT Miller would get his 35th goal from Garland and Bluger.
7 minutes and 39 seconds into that second period. There was no scoring until the third period. Late in that frame, with 3 minutes and 8 seconds to go, Jamie Benn would break the tie, getting his 18th goal of the year from Pavelski and Hintz. Jason Robertson would increase the lead to 3-1, getting his 27th goal of the year from Pavelski and Hintz, with 3 minutes and 3 seconds to go on the clock. So that's where we would stand at the end of regulation. The Dallas Stars are sitting at 46, 19, and 9. They have 101 points as we speak. They have officially clinched the playoff spot with 8 games remaining. And despite the loss, the Canucks are 45, 20, and 8. They are sitting at 98 points on the season with 9 games remaining on the schedule. So both these teams should make the postseason and very well could the respected divisions. Alrighty, that takes care of our recap from Thursday of the NHL. Do you have any last second thoughts?
How I feel about the game is this. Oh, if it will show, is this.
Aw, that's sad. Okay, so as always, if you're new to this channel and like this type of content, please feel free to hit the sub button. I'd be very grateful and very appreciative. Any more thoughts?
Go check out my channel.
Okay, so yeah, she does hockey edits and stuff like that. It's called Just Hockey, JUSTHOCKEYY. Alrighty, that's pretty much everything now, right?
Yep.
Alrighty. Well, until next time.
And the edits that I will be doing are probably the 4 teams that he said that I cheer for. The Habs, there's the Canucks, and the Devils.
There you go. The 4 teams you cheer for. Cool. Anything else?
Nope.
Alrighty. Well, as always,
Take care.